Good morning and welcome to our Sunday morning, the first segment of our weekly Ask Zevy Q&A on DOB sign-off. I'm very excited to be here with you today. It's a new launch for me, it's a new thing, it's exciting, it's a little frightening too, to be honest. Rather than just be here on the Sunday morning in my office, which is wide open and there's nobody really here except a couple of workaholics, not in this area of the office. I chose a spot that's a little bit quiet. Instead of just talking to an imaginary crowd, I have David on the line, who is a GC with some questions on sewer sign-off. Now, I told David that I would explain the process to him step by step, but I would like to use this opportunity to talk to a wider audience of GCs that could benefit from this information. So I would put him on the phone, so this way I feel like I'm talking to a real person, and I would take his questions as soon as I'm done with this presentation, so it could be more one-on-one. But in the meantime, I actually have David on the line, and I'm going to go through the steps. Now, sewer sign-off is really part of the bigger picture, which is getting CO. In order to get CO to have tenants move into a building, you need to have a bunch of sign-offs. One of them is plumbing sign-off. Now, plumbing sign-off basically is the green light from the DOB, the New York City Department of Building, saying that the plumbing structure in the building is safe and sound and you can go ahead with your CO. Now, in order for the DOB to give the GC that plumbing sign-off, they need a bunch of requirements to happen first. There are many inspections that need to happen, plumbing inspections, and in addition to that, there are many sign-off documents that they need to see prior to giving that plumbing sign-off. So, for example, one of those sign-offs is sewer sign-off, meaning if the building had a new sewer installed, they would want something from the water main company that installed that sewer stating that the sewer was installed and it was installed up to code. Now, there are several departments in the building department, and the department that issued that sign-off to state that the sewer is signed off is not the same department as the building department that requires that document. So, I mean, technically it would make sense to just, okay, I installed my sewer, everything is good, what else do I need? But it's not the same department, so it's actually the DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, that gives the water main company that sewer sign-off stating that the sewer is installed. Now, the water main company will take that sewer sign-off and they need to upload it to the building department's website, which is a different government department. And the building department, once they have that uploaded, they can say, okay, great, so you have the sewer sign-off, we can see what else you need in order to go for plumbing sign-off. Once you have plumbing sign-off, you can go for CO. Now, that would seem pretty straightforward. Just have the water main company do that and everything is great. There's only one, not caveat, but there's only one step that needs to be done first, and that is a form called a PW6. A PW6, as I'm sure many of you are familiar, is an application for a CO. Now, the end goal is to get the CO, but the first step in that end goal is to at least apply for a CO, and that's called a PW6. That's the form that needs to be filled out. Now, that form is usually filled out by the GC's expediter. It's stamped by an inspector, and that the building can, we can apply for a PW6 or a CO application. Now, why is that important for sewer sign-off? Because in order for sewer sign-off to be entered into the system once the sewer is installed without any complications, there needs to be a PW6 form in the building department system prior to that prior to uploading the sewer sign-off. Meaning, in a typical scenario, and it's just it just happened recently to me. I have an open job right now where the sewer was installed. The water main company got the sewer sign-off from the DEP. They uploaded it into the building department's website, the DOB. And the problem is that there was no PW6 in the system yet, telling the building department that the customer is looking to, apply for a CO. So what ends up happening is you can't have a sewer in a building without applying for a CO. You need to apply for a CO, bring in the sewer, and then that's just the order of the events. And then once you have that, then you can go for the actual CO. So what happens is that the sewer sign-off comes into the system, and I'm going to show you in the building department website. I'm going to demonstrate shortly what the different parts of the website where the document goes and then where it needs to go. But basically, what happens is it comes into this folder where all the forms are uploaded. So the sewer sign-off comes in there, and then what happens is it gets stuck there because there's no PW6. So then the customer will reach out to his expediter. Hey, I need a PW6. I'm going to want to go for CO soon. I didn't apply for a CO. He's like, okay, great. I'll do a PW6. He uploads the PW6 into the system, but now everything is working backwards. They need to go find the sewer sign-off that they uploaded prior to that, and then put it into the correct folder. And this, you need a special request, because in addition to the two departments that I spoke about before, the DOB, the building department, and the DEP, there's a third department which is called the House Connection Division. The House Connection Division is the one that's in charge of sewer, which is house connection is another word for sewer. You're connecting the house to the city sewer. Now, in order for that sewer sign-off that's in the building department to be transferred into the correct folder, and then you can go for CO, the House Connection Division needs to have access to that document and process it from there. They're not going to process it from there if there was no PW6 in the system prior to the sewer sign-off, unless there's going to be a special request from the water main company or the expediter or the owner's rep. So you got to have people involved and all that. Now the whole thing is running all messed up. In order to avoid that, the way to do it is have the PW6 in the system first, install the sewer, upload the sewer sign-off into the building department website, and then automatically once that's there, the House Connection Division is just going to take that sewer sign-off, process whatever they need to process, and then you can go ahead with CO. So I'm just going to transfer over now to the building department website and show you what it looks like so you know what to look for. So here it is. Here's the job. It's an open job right now, 862 DeKalb. And the PW6, as soon as it's filed, meaning that CO application, it comes into the forms. It's a type of form, so it should be here. So we're going to look for it. PW6. Right here. PW6. And that was entered here on 9/4, not too long ago. Okay, great. Comes in. Let's back up one step. Once it's in here, automatically the building department will transfer it into this folder right here, virtual job folder. So let's see if it's here. Let's look for it. PW6. Alrighty. PW6, and this was scanned in on 9/11. A couple of days later, 9/4, it came into the system. 9/11, it was scanned. So right here, date scanned. Once that comes in, we're good. So what's going to happen next is the next folder is, so it comes into forms received, it gets scanned into this folder, virtual job folder. And the next step is, once the PW6 is here, we're ready for the sewer sign-off, which comes into neither of these two folders. It comes right into here. It's items required, because it's an item that's required in order for us to go for plumbing sign-off and then CO. So Once that happens, we're going to have Sewer Signoff come in, show up on one of these right here. So let's see if it's in yet. Sewer. No, it's not in yet. When that pops up, then the sewer will come into the system, and then we can proceed. So David, that's really all there is to it. It's just a couple of steps that we need to follow. PW6 goes into the system first. That's the CO application. Then we install the sewer, get the sewer sign-off form from the water main company. It gets uploaded to the building department. The house connection division takes it from there and they process it. And then we can proceed with plumbing sign-off and then CO. In the case that things weren't done exactly in that process and sewer sign-off was entered first, then we need to go back, bring up PW6, reach out with a special request to the house connection division to take that sewer sign-off, process it. Takes a couple of extra weeks, sometimes more, till they locate it and all that. But that's just basically it in a nutshell. Thank you for joining me here today, and I really look forward to doing this weekly. It's a lot of fun. It's sharing just a trial and error thing. This is something that we've done, we've batched up a couple of times, and it just takes once or twice to realize, there's the complicated way, then there's just a straightforward way of doing things, which will save everybody time and money, so we can ultimately get to our goal of CO. Shoot me your comments, please, in the feedback. Send me a direct message. I'm open to all feedback, positive, negative, everything is welcome. It's a learning curve for me. I want to do it right. I want to provide value. Please share your thoughts, and most of all, next week is segment 2. Please tune in with us. Shoot me your questions for next week, and I'm looking forward to cover a new topic next week or delve deeper into this topic, whatever. Anything works. As long as we're providing value and we're all making money in the process. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.